Hey everyone, it's been a while since I've done an IGTV, but I just wanted to come on and talk to you about a little something that I've been experimenting with over the last sort of 3 to 4 months. And that is my hormones and my cycle and my balance. So if anyone's watching that gets a bit out by this sort of stuff, then feel free to, I don't know, you don't swipe right, that's Tinder, isn't it? Anyway, so what I wanted to talk about is how women can sometimes feel during their time of the month, during their period. And I don't know about you guys, but I can suffer from a whole range of emotions. Moodiness, irritability. I get really snappy at my husband, like ultra snappy. I get a really bad lower back ache. I don't tend to get too many abdominal symptoms apart from bloating, but it's probably going to be the distemper. No, that's a disease. Just a complete and utter lack of patience for the one I love. So I've been doing two things. One is I have been experimenting with a blend of essential oils that I've made up, and I'll go through and tell you what's in that in a minute. And the other thing is that I've also been experimenting with diet. So in the last 3 months, I have done a couple of things. I spent a month where I didn't cut out sugar, but I greatly reduced the intake that I was taking, in particular from things like confectionery and little snacks here and there and white bread and stuff like that. So over the course of 3 months, what I did was I eliminated sugar for the first month. For the second month, I eliminated sugar and used the oils. Then it was Christmas, so I introduced the sugar back in. I didn't use the oils again. And then for this month, I have had sugar and used the oils. I think that's, 4 months. And it was just really interesting. It was just really interesting to do. So I really honestly didn't realize the impact that sugar was having on my moods and irritability, because I honestly feel as though the month that I reduced my sugar intake when I was premenstrual, my mood was so much better. I had heaps of tolerance for hubby. I wasn't snapping at him so much. I didn't feel so lethargic and tired. Now that's just going to be a natural thing that happens when you eat better. But in particular, when I was premenstrual, I really noticed a change in my symptoms, which I was really, really interested by. And especially when I then started having my mum's white chocolate macadamia slice, but just eating crap again, how much it changed by the month. Now, this is not scientific. It's not based on anything other than me just testing things out. So I really am definitely going to start looking into that a little bit more, and the impact that our diet, or particularly my diet, is playing on my moods. And some days there are just days where I've got no motivation and I just feel really crap and rubbish. And I think that I'm starting to realize, I may be late to the party and that's fine, but I'm really starting to realize that a lot of that is probably going to be diet related. So that's, not a goal, but that's definitely something I want to look at in the new year. And the other thing that I've put together was I tested out oils throughout that time to see which oils sort of helped with my mood and my function and how I was actually feeling. Using essential oils is not a hormone solution. It's not going to balance your hormones. It's not going to make a difference to them. It's not going to change them. But what it does is, when our hormones are impacting on our behavior, our mood, how we feel, and they play such a huge role in all of those things, essential oils can change the way we react and respond and feel based on those hormonal changes. And it's just incredible. It's so cool, which is why I love doing it. So the blend that I roll, so I use this when I've got PMS mostly. It's a blend. It's got lavender, Roman chamomile, ginger, marjoram, and clary sage in it. So each of those oils I've chosen for a particular reason, and then I've blended them so that they've got a really nice balance to them. It's not a sweet smell. Clary sage is a very sweet smell, I think. So is lavender. It's got a bit of an earthy spice undertone to it. And it does actually take a little bit of getting used to. It's not a perfumed oil. It is there. It's going to do something for me. The lavender is in there because it's just nice. It just calms you. Your mind is racing. You breathe it in and you just feel a sense of settledness come over you. It's just a really good base oil to use. Roman chamomile, again, really well known for its anti-inflammatory properties. I can't talk about any scientific ways that it might work, but definitely something that you can research and look up, and very, very good for mental anxiety. And ginger is a warm, energizing, uplifting, really sort of spicy oil that when you're feeling low and feeling down, it can really boost you up a little bit, so it's really good to use. Clary sage I've talked about, very, very good for muscular tension. So when I put this on, I actually roll it along my back, because that's where I get all of my back pain. And if I am getting any tummy cramps, which I don't often, I would put it in around my navel as well, and then just have a bit of relax off, and I'll use it before bed. So it's very, very good for that. Marjoram, that's a really different oil to use, but it's actually quite well used for muscular aches as well. Very, very good for combating stress, a little bit of insomnia, all of these things. It can help to have an impact on the symptoms of PMS. So this is what I use that time of the month. I roll it on, I put it on the tender points on my back, on my tummy, and sometimes I'll put it on my pressure points as well, on my wrists and on my neck. And then what I'll usually diffuse around that time as well, because diffusing is a really good way to get oils dispersing into your limbic system, so you can have the effects on your emotional center as well. Often I'll do like clary sage and a mix of orange or bergamot or something like that. The blend of the citrus and the clary sage balance out nicely, and it gives you a really nice energizing, calming, uplifting feeling. And I just think that we just don't really talk about it. I don't know that we talk about it. And I've listened to a couple of podcasts really looking at women's health, and I think we need to look after ourselves a little bit better. And I certainly feel as though my loved one will probably benefit if I actually start, doing a bit better at my diet. And I do have to cut out sugar. Like, I know that has had such a huge impact on my mood. Also, his kitchen cleaning skills could do with some improving, but overall I'm going to start with myself. I'm going to look after myself physically, mentally, emotionally, and I'm open to suggestions. Has anyone got any tips as well on different ways that you can use different products to actually improve the symptoms of PMS? I'm really intrigued. I think it's really, really interesting. I might put a tag up as well in the when I post this about the podcast that I've listened to recently, talking about women and stress and hormones. And yeah, send me any tips that you've got. I'll take anything that you can share with me. And in the meantime, no more sugar. Start rolling. See you later.